Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. I felt so unproductive yesterday, so I thought of painting a model in an hour. I cheated by selecting the colors already because selecting the colors while painting will slow you down. So after an hour of selecting paints and selecting the model, I ended up with this model. Spellcrow models or resin models are really nice, so I don't really want to ruin a model just because I want to paint it in an hour. So I selected this model, which is the simplest that I have, and I'm pretty confident that I could pull it off. After selecting the colors for your model or for your painting, it's easy painting from here onwards. I figured this basic painting tutorial or video would be nice to monitor my speed in painting miniatures. So we could do this once in a while and push myself to paint faster. At the same time, paint more complex miniatures in just 1 hour. So if you like this kind of video, do drop a comment in the comment section and tell me that you like it so that we could make a series out of this. Notice I don't dry brush the groundwork. I find that wet brushing, yes, I invented that. I'm wet brushing the groundwork because I find it nice. It's just painting really fast and making sure that you're kinda stippling in a way. It's daubing the paint, and then I dry brush the highlights. But the base colors, I don't dry brush them. I call it wet brushing. Now I find the base a bit too light, so let's apply black wash. One of the reasons why I don't like washes and glazing too much, it's because you really need to hair dry it a lot because it dries slower than basic layering. Now let's paint the orange of the pumpkin. So basically, oranges, yellows, and reds are transparent paints. You really have to have an undercoat. If you use the zenithal technique, I use it once in a while, paint the model black and white and paint over it, it's nice to paint over the base color already. But if you're painting from black, you really have to paint a darker color. In this case, we're using cavalry brown, which is a very red brown, and it's surprisingly very opaque. I usually recommend mixing the previous color with the current color, but for oranges, yellows, and even reds, these colors are, again, as I've said, are very transparent or transparent in comparison to normal paints. So you don't really have to mix the previous color because you're working with transparencies. I did around 5 layers of amaranth red here. Amaranth red is the orange we're using. Now we paint green. Green and blues are very opaque paints. This one you have to mix with the previous color so that you build upon nice transitions and nice play of colors. If you're painting with greens and blues, which are very opaque paints, you really have to mix the previous color with the current color. If not, you'll produce very rough painting unless you like that effect. But with this one, we're going for a smooth finish. If you don't mix your paints, if you don't eat your greens, basically you'll be forced to do glazing or washes so that you'll have smooth finish. And we don't want that because we're painting this in an hour. We are about 40 minutes in and I'm mixing like crazy now because I don't want to fail with this challenge. But still I think we could add a bit more highlight so that we could make this model pop. I learned this a while back. Using pale orange to highlight the pumpkin or dwarf's beard is way better than using yellows or scrofulous brown and colors like that, because if you use too much yellow, it will look like flame. The sunny skin tone is really nice to mix with colors to make them lighter. I usually just use ice yellow, but sometimes that's too light. So the sunny skin tone, which I learned from that Mr. Shy, is really awesome. Also, if you notice, in my recent builds and my recent miniatures, I basically focus on the face. I tend to make those or the face lighter, meaning the focus of the model is lighter. I tend to do more edge highlights, more details, lighter colors around the face area because personally, I see a lot of awesome painted miniatures, but even the toes of the feet or the boots have really high, like really bright highlights, and I feel it kinda like takes away the shine, literally the shine of the face. It's human nature, after all, to look for the face or the brightest spot of anything or any object so that we could recognize the shape and what that object represents. So I'm figuring that if you paint figures or models, you should really focus on the face and around the face area so that there's focus on your miniature. We are about 50 minutes in this miniature and I'm kinda rushing. Some of the videos here is actually a real time, but if you could see, like my fingers and my hands are moving really fast because again I do not want to fail and not paint this within 1 hour. Notice that I'm using ivory to lighten the colors because ivory is really warm. It's a nice warm highlight color. If you use white, it kinda like diminishes the saturation of the paint or makes the paint paler. So I want my miniatures to be really vibrant, so I'm using like ivory for the highlights. Now we're almost done, but we only have 5 minutes to finish. So I painted with extra opaque paints. I don't want to like spend more time on the base or the soil part of the base. And I dried this up with a hair dryer. Now we apply like a warm Vallejo pigment. This is a rust color. It's a really nice color to blend everything together. It's like a dust, not dust color, but it's a soil color for me. And then we paint like what do you call this? The base itself, and we're done. That's it. We were able to pull off this model because it's just 3 colors, basically gray, the orange, and the green. But we were able to like give focus to the face and even paint highlights to the tongue and the sweat. Again, if you like this 1 hour painting challenge and make a series out of it, do drop a comment and of course a like so that we could make a series out of this video. That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos! Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. I'm an affiliate painter for Red Grass Games and also the head mecha and sci-fi painter for Vallejocolors. I write painting articles for Fine Scale Modular Magazine. I also write articles for Fantasy Figures International Magazine. Lastly, if you're into Gunpla, do use my discount code for usagundamstore.com. Links down below.